Okay, so in this video we are going to build a Discord bot. So let me show you how this Discord bot functions. I've trained this Discord bot on the information from Voiceflow. Voiceflow is the agent builder we are going to use in this video. So let's ask it a question. We are right now in the server of Discord and let's ask it a question. So for example, what is the agent step? And it will take a second and it will answer my question. Voila. Let's ask it a different question. What are events? You can do basically this with whatever information you want to insert it, etc. Maybe the last question, a fun question. Who is Abdullah, for example? Who is Abdullah? So I've a profile inside the Voiceflow website, so it should know some information about me, where I'm from, what I did, what I'm doing. So Abdullah is enhanced on, yeah, from the Netherlands, perfect. So you can see the agent works perfectly. And let me show you how you can build this. So the first thing you need to do is in the description, you have a link to Voiceflow, and use that link and create an account inside Voiceflow. Once you clicked on the link, you can just sign up. How to create a new project is here on the top right corner. Create a new project and then give it a name and select whatever template is there. And then once we are inside the agent builder, you can delete the template. So once you're inside, you will see something like this, a start and then a block, delete that block. And then we are going to build this. So the first thing, let me explain it to you what is going to happen. Once we ask it a question, our question will be saved in a variable named last utterance. This question can be maybe with typos, maybe too much context, and we have after this block, after the first block, a KB search. And it's important that we are going to give it the KB search like the key information about my question, like the keywords, etc. So what we are going to do is we are going to optimize my question, and this block is doing that. So if I open it, you can see the prompt, and in the prompt we have the last utterance, and the last utterance is basically the question I have asked in Discord, and then it is going to optimize my question. For example, over here, what is a shipping policy and how do I track my order? Output shipping policy. So it's going to like optimize the question with like the relevant information, keywords, and then we are going to pass this inside the KB search. So let me show you how you can build this block for yourself. We have the logic steps in the menu left. We have the logic steps and then set. And now you can, if you click on the plus, you can choose between value or prompt. We have to choose prompt. Then you have to create your prompt. So if you click on create, you will see something similar as this. Like, so it is empty in your case. In this video description, I've also included a Google Doc. And inside this Google Doc, you can find all the prompts we are using in this video, the information from Discord, and also all the code we are going to use for Replit. So very important. So the first thing is in the chatbot builder, in orange, you have the instructions for the question optimizer. Just copy everything which is in purple and paste it inside the prompt block. Inside the prompt block, you can paste it just inside the user, and then you can choose your AI module. Yeah. You can just test out which AI module suits in your case the best, but you have all kinds of AI modules to choose. And then also the max tokens. So if you have a long input, like a lot of instructions, and the output must be also, like the answer must be very long as well, then I recommend you to give it a bit more tokens. But you can always test it out. If you notice, like in your answer, it suddenly cuts out, like midway your answer, it stops. This means it hits your max tokens and you have to increase that. So once you have done that, you have to double check if you have the input last utterance in your instructions, also over here. And if everything is fine, we can continue. So you have created your prompt, and then you have to choose your output variable, or you have to create your output variable. I've named my optimized question. You can create your variable and name it also in the same way. And basically the output from this prompt block, the AI set block, will be saved in this variable optimized question. And then this block is a KB search. KB stands for knowledge base. And if I go to the knowledge base, I've included all the information from Voiceflow. So for example, if you have a website and you want like all the pages from the website at one time be added in your knowledge base, you can go to sitemap, and then in this formatting, you can have like all the pages that at one time in your knowledge base. So the only thing you have to adjust is your domain, and that's it. Once you have done that, you will have all the pages from that site. In this case, I took Voiceflow. So for example, if I go to this link, click over here, you will see chunks. And chunks are like blocks with information. And once I'm going to search something, it will give us like the chunks. And then the AI response block will use that chunks to answer the question. So let me preview it for you. Question, what's the agent step, for example? What is the agent step? So you can see here, it will give us some chunks. Voila, give us 3 sources with a chunk score. So let's go back to the workflow. So we have the optimized question now, and then a KB search. And basically what we just did here in the KB, in the knowledge base, it is going to do it also the same. And we are going to give it here the optimized question, and then the information it is going to provide us, like those blocks information, we are going to save it in the variable chunks. And then, like I said, question, and then it will give us it will give us the chunks. And then I've also given it a chunk limit, which is 3. You can increase it, decrease it. And we have also a not found path. You just saw in the chunks, it gave us also a score. If the score is below, for example, 20%, it will go to the not found path. And we have a fixed message over here, which is going to say, I don't have the information on the topic right now. You can find more information in our docs or reach out to support team. And if it's found, or in this case, if the chunk score is higher than 20%, then it will go to this block, which the AI is going to give us the answer. So very simple. We have here the instructions. Again, you can also find this instructions over here, which is in green. And basically, it's going to get the optimized question in this variable. Make sure if you have it in a different variable and you're going to copy and paste it, make sure the variables are correctly, like how you have saved it in your own agent builder. But very simple, we will give it the optimized question, we will give it like the user question itself, and also the chunks from the knowledge base. So in reality, this will be like 3 big blocks with information, and then this agent is going to provide an answer based on what it could find inside the chunks and what the user had questioned. And again, similar also with the prompt block. In the beginning, you can choose a AI module. For example, in this case, I'm now testing, this week I'm testing a lot of Gemini out. So I've selected Gemini, but you can again select your own AI module. Give it a temperature, how more on the right side, the more random it is. Imagine the instructions are very important and it must give us like 2 different outputs. Then you have to do it like all the way on the left, and if it can be very random, it can be all the way on the right. I chose it over here. So the max tokens, similar as what I just said. These are the max tokens it can use. If you notice the answers like suddenly cut out, it means it hits your max tokens. You can also test it out with the optimized question. Last utterance, like you can type here a question and then copy paste some information from the knowledge base and give it in here and test out what the outputs are. In this case, we have tested it out inside Discord and it worked perfectly. Once it provided the answer or it couldn't find it, we will end the flow, and then that's it. And then once we are going to re-ask a question, it starts all the way from the beginning. So how you can build the knowledge base block, by the way, if you go to the menu, dev, KB search, put in here your variable, you can see the list of your variables after you have typed in the bracket. Then you will have a list of all the variables. Make sure the way you have named the output of the set block is in here. The variable where you want to save all the chunks, create one or select one here. I just recommend you to create a variable named chunks. And then the chunk limit, how many chunks you want it to give the AI response. And very important, the minimum chunk score. If you notice, like it every time goes to the not found path, means your minimum chunk score is a bit too high, you have to lower it then. So the question, optimized question, the variable, just name it chunks, chunk limit, and then if you click here, not found, yes or no. That's it. This is similar, the prompt block. So if you have to go to talk and then select prompt, drag it over here and then create a new prompt. And that prompt, you can find it over here in the Google Doc. And then eventually it will end. We have here in the logic step, we have the end block. You can also drag it over here. You can just drag it to that and then it will end. Once you are done, you have to publish your chatbot over here. And then if you go to interface, you will see API keys. Copy this API key. We will need this later in this video. I'm also telling it here like keys needed. The only key you need from Voiceflow over here is the API key. The API URL we already have, so which is this, and this we have to use in a moment. And like you can paste it over here, your API key, or save it somewhere else. This is important. So once it's published and you have your API key and you've created your chatbot, insert your knowledge base. Not only from a site you can import knowledge, you can also upload a file or from Zendesk, or like a couple URLs, not the whole website, for example. So you can be creative. You can also give your AI instructions like different instructions, how it should talk. Yeah, so mainly that. So once you have done that and you have your API key saved, we will go to Discord. And in Discord, you just have to create a server first. So I've created my server already over here. And it's just very simple. You click over on the plus, add a server, and then create your own server. Just keep it simple. If you haven't a server, then you have to create it. If you have, you don't need to do this. And then once you have your server, click on your server and then right mouse click, copy server ID and save it also, because we will need this later in the video. So Voiceflow, we don't need it anymore. So over here in Discord, you can paste your server ID over here or paste it somewhere else. This is your server ID, and then we will need your app ID and Discord token. So make a server if you don't have any, and then go to the developer portal, open it, and then the first thing you need to do is create a new app. So click on that. You just have to give it a name and accepting the terms of service, and then you can go inside your application. Again, here you can give it a name and give it an icon, and basically the users will basically see that, the icon and name. Okay, so we have to copy the application ID. So if we are in the general information, you have to copy the application ID and save it also somewhere. And once you have done that, let's go to the steps, go to the bot tab. over here, reset your token and copy the token what you have then over there and save that also somewhere. The next step will be in the top, in the bot where we are here. Scroll down and toggle these three last on, which is the present intent, server member intent, and message content intent. Make sure those three are on. And then once you have done that, we will go to the OAuth tab. And then if you click on bot, you have to give it some permissions, which is send messages in threads, manage messages, I think also embed links. Yes, embed links, use slash commands, read message history and view channels. Again, you can find all of that inside the Google Doc, which is in the description. So make sure you have selected all of those. And then in the end, you get a generated URL. Copy that URL and then paste it inside the search. And it will then ask like which server you want to add this bot. And select the right server and we are done. Do we have all the tokens? We have the app ID. That was in the beginning, the application ID, the Discord token, which you had to reset it, and the server ID where you had to go to your server and copy server ID over here. So that is that. And then we are going to go to Replit. So let's go to Replit. If you don't have any account, create an account and we'll have to create an app. I've already created my app. In your case, you have to click here on create an app, choose a template, and the template is Node.js. I'm not going to do that, but I'm going to my existing app and show you what you have to do over there. Also in the Google Doc, you will have like the template name here, for example, in the project folders and the secrets. So what you should do in the project folder, it must look something like this. So don't mind about this. Let me open it a bit more. That's already fine. Okay. So you have to create 3 folders. This folder is not necessary. We are not going to do anything with this folder. If you have more folders, just delete that. You don't need that. Create 3 folders, which is commands. Make sure like you type everything exactly also what I've written here. Also over here, like commands. And I believe if you go to Replit and over here, new folder, and you type in commands/ask.js, it automatically creates a folder and a file. If not, you can also create like separately a folder and then file, and the file name must be also in the same formatting. A small typo and then it won't work. So commands, under the folder commands, the file must be ask.js. Under the folder events is the interaction create.js and also the ready.js files. Under the file, folder utils, you have to add here the dialog API.js, and then a separate file without any folder is index.js. Once you have created that and it is in this formatting, in each of those files, just copy what you have in the Google Doc. For example, the dialog.js, the ask.js, ready.js, etc. Just copy everything in there. And once you have done that, you can click here on the plus on the tabs inside the Replit and go to the secret tab. And then here we have to add all the API, like the API key, the URL, the application ID, Discord token, server ID. So you should have now saved all those keys and you can paste it over here. Probably in your case you have to create the keys as well. So make sure if we go to the Google Doc, you can see here the keys. Make sure you copy this exactly one by one. Any typo, the code won't work. So make sure Voiceflow API up until here, you copy it. New secret, paste it, and add your API key, API URL, application ID, etc. And basically, if you have done all of that, it should work in your case. So let's run it. If you see something like this, started refreshing, already logged in as demo bot, this is how we called our bot, then it should work. If you see any error over here, see what the error is, and you can just copy, like for example, all the files, and for example, ask Gemini or ChatGPT, like, hey, these are the files, what am I doing wrong? This is what I got. You can also send some screenshots. But if you have done everything correctly, it should have worked immediately. So you have created your secret step, the files, you have inserted all the code in each of those files. Yeah. So the dialog API, the interaction JSON, to go over here. Yeah, now it works. Ask.js file and the index file. All right, so for you, just very simple app, copy and paste it, and that's it. If we are going to go to the commands, you can also customize your description. In this case, I said ask AY bot, Abdullah Yahya bot a question. You can also adjust that, and you can also customize it more in those codes. But yeah, if you have clicked on run and you see this, you can test it out. And once you are testing it out, you will see this code is also working. If it's giving you an error, you can see what the error here is, why, and you can troubleshoot it with an AI module, or you can send it in the comments, and I may help you with this. Yeah, so let's go to the server and ask it some questions. So ask, so tell me more about the messages steps. Tell me more about the messages step. Voila, and we should have seen right now, you can see, since we have asked the question, user Abdullah asked, tell me more about the message step. So question, it went to Voiceflow, and eventually it gave us a answer. So it said it couldn't find it inside the knowledge base. Okay, so the AI response block is telling it couldn't find, which is fine. Let's ask it a different question. What are intents? Voila, gave us an answer. We can continue answering it, and it is basically like an FAQ bot, and in the instructions over here, you can give it a bit more instructions, be more specific. For example, this answer was not good. You can customize it over here, and yeah, this is basically how you can build a Voiceflow bot. In the descriptions, you can find the Google Doc. You probably have to fill in first the form. It's very simple: name, email, and etc. Once you have done that, you immediately get this doc with all the information, and then you can publish your own Discord bot. So yeah, thank you for watching. I hope this video was helpful. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions, and subscribe if it was helpful. And if you have any ideas for like Discord bots, let me know, and I may create like that type of Discord bot also for you. Yeah, thank you for watching. See you the next time. If you want to work together, there's a link in the description as well. And yeah, see you next time. Bye.